Let's do it.
All right.
I'll take that as a yes.
What?
The ring.
The world remains in mourning after the death of Superman. Violence, acts of war, and terrorism are all on the rise.
I had a dream. It was the end of the world.
Invasion.
I think it's something more. Something darker.
We're asking people we don't know to risk their lives.
Strong man is strongest alone. You ever heard that? That's not a saying. That's the opposite of what the saying is. Divided. We are not enough. The world needs Superman. I made him a promise. This is why I brought you together.
Ride ain't over yet.
My man.
Oh, awesome. As a bat signal, that's your... Oh, sorry. That's your signal. That means we have to go now.
Yeah, that's what that means.
It's so cool.
Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another video on the Justice League film. And today we're going to be breaking down the final trailer that you just watched, and we're going to be telling you guys about all the things you missed and all the Easter eggs within the trailer. So I've spotted a lot of Easter eggs, and this video is going to be quite long, so I'm going to be breaking it down fully to its depths. So if you haven't already checked out my reaction video to the actual trailer that you just watched, it's my first ever facecam reaction, so please do give feedback as I'll be doing them for upcoming DC movies. So on to today's video, we'll be breaking down the final Justice League trailer and pointing out some stuff that you probably missed, so that includes Easter eggs. So the trailer starts off with a very colourful sunset in Kansas as we see Lois Lane dreaming about Clark Kent in the field. But it could just be cut to make us think that Lois is dreaming, or it could definitely be real, as the scenes are so different where we see Lois wake up, and that could just be something else in the movie, and it really just could have been cut to seem like it is a dream scene. So this is very similar to a previous scene in a previous Superman film where Martha is out in the cornfields with Clark instead of Lois. So this is just a nice nod to the Superman film lore, as it does use very similar colours as to that previous film within this scene. And the way they link this scene back to Batman vs Superman is by the ring, as Clark says, "I take that as a yes," as obviously after Martha gave Lois the ring during Batman vs Superman, as Clark was about to propose to her, we saw her wear Clark's ring during Clark's funeral in Kansas. So if it was a real scene and not a dream scene, we could be getting a wedding sometime near the end of the Justice League film, or it could be postponed to the next Man of Steel Superman film that they have in the next coming years. But the next scene within the trailer, we hear Bruce Wayne talking about a nightmare that he had. So to most people, we probably think that oh, it's the Batman vs Superman dream scene where he dreamed of Superman being evil, but it is overlaid by Steppenwolf landing on Earth and smashing the ground with his axe, which is actually the same scene that we see later on with the Amazonians fighting Darkseid's parademons. So I am led to believe that he could have dreamt of this fight in the past that happened thousands of years ago when the forces of Apokolips first invaded, but they were sent back and left 3 mother boxes in order for them to return sometime in the future. And if you don't know what mother boxes are, they serve as teleportation throughout the universe as they have boom tubes within them. But what is really interesting about the trailer is that we get to see a look at one of the soldiers from thousands of years ago in that massive battle getting turned into a parademon, which is something that has been heavily featured in the comics and also heavily featured mainly in the DC animated Justice League War film, which I highly recommend if you don't want to read through tons of comic books regarding Darkseid and Apokolips, and if you just want to get your head quickly wrapped around what Darkseid and his forces are capable of. So we see a wide aerial shot of the battlefield where the forces have made their Omega symbol mark and are attacking the Amazonians. So this is in the past, who are trying to protect Earth, and this links back to when Diana says they said the age of heroes would never come again. I can infer that they are referring to the heroes that stopped the invasion 1,000 years ago or so in the past. Then we get establishing shots of the Trinity with Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg and the Flash, but excluding Batman, as we have had a lot of Batman within this trailer already. So in the next shot we can see what looks like the planet changing as things shoot from under the ground, and basically the world is becoming more and more like Apokolips by the minute. I think this takes influence from Justice League War, as in that film Darkseid tries to terraform the Earth into Apokolips, which he does with every planet that he invades. So if you guys were confused by what the hell those structures were popping out of the Earth and moving, that is what they are. The Earth is terraforming, and Steppenwolf will set up that, and he will try and set up the Earth so when he's taking it over, Darkseid can come over. But obviously it's not going to properly work. Some bits will work, but then Darkseid will probably come at the end of Justice League, and obviously that's when we need Green Lantern, we need all these other heroes. So we'll see about that when the film actually comes out, and I think a lot of people haven't picked up on that. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out because that is something that probably most of you missed. Again, we get individual shots of the members of the Justice League, with Bruce Wayne doing the voiceover again, saying divided we are not enough, as we see them kind of getting the shit beaten out of themselves. So it is just proving the point to us that they need each other to defeat the forces of Apokolips, which follows by Bruce saying the world needs Superman. So a lot of the trailer has been heavily to do with the return of Superman during Justice League, so expect him to return after the forces have like properly fully invaded and they're in full-on attack, and our team are struggling before he returns. So like 2/3 of the way through or so, I would say is a good guess for when Superman's going to return and beat the shit out of Steppenwolf. So throughout the trailer we can see that the colors are actually really prominent and very elegant, and that is one thing that I do admire about Zack Snyder's work, as he really knows how to use color in the most perfect way, and we can see this by all the scenery shots, these wide shots, and all the panning shots around, and even the close-up of the characters. Like, oh my god, it's amazing. So I'm super happy that it's not the dark monotone feel that they went with in Batman vs Superman, as this really pops out of the screen and it's very unique. It was followed by one of the first external shots of the flying fox that we've seen on screen, Batman's new aircraft that is. We can see it heading towards a structure of light, and this structure has blocked the sunset, and this just shows you the full force of what the Justice League have to fight against and protect the Earth from. The structure seems to be very similar to veins or roots, so I can infer from this that it's potentially growing and expanding. So this leads me back to my terraforming theory, as I do believe the things popping out of the ground are extending and growing and terraforming the Earth. The big light structure is going to be something to do with that. So the final scene that we're going to be breaking down is actually something that I really found very funny and I laughed at, but because Barry is literally the voice of the fans, he's like, oh look, it's your signal. Oh shh, I don't think I should have said that out loud. I'm really looking forward to these small bits of comedy within the Justice League film to help lighten up the invasion storyline. But the last Easter egg and the last thing that you probably missed, there is a Joker reference right in that scene within the trailer, as we see an Ace Chemical signs whilst we look at Batman's signal in the air. So that is just something that they put in, obviously, to just be a nice Easter egg to the Joker, as this is where the Joker was made in some iterations of the comics, with him being the Red Hood and then being pushed into that and going crazy. But anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. That has been my full breakdown of the Justice League trailer, and hopefully you enjoyed this video and leave some feedback. Did I miss anything out? But anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later for Supergirl tomorrow. Good night.
Strong, it doesn't make us weak. Tongue tied to service like shot free.